So I've come across various ways of doing documents, right? So you've got Microsoft Word, you've got, you know, obviously like Notepad if you're really primitive. You've got um, like Vim, right? You've got all sorts of ways of doing documents. But the way that you'll see it done in the academic field and like the professional field is like through LaTeX. And LaTeX, or slash, latex, however you want to say it, is basically a typesetting language that's used for this kind of stuff. So I've just got some notes of what I'm going to cover, because I think this is pretty cool, right? So everything begins in LaTeX as, whether it be an article or a document or a book or a poster or whatever, right? So you're going to specify the type of document, and anytime you want to do anything in LaTeX, most of the time it's going to start with a backslash. So I'm going to type in the type of document, which is called the document class, and using VimTech, you can basically have like an LS. You can basically compile stuff in Vim. So I suggest installing that as well as an LSP, so you can see all of these options. Anyway, so you have document class article, right? So because we're going to do an article, that's the most common, at least for me. And then we're going to begin our document, and we're just going to say begin and obviously end our document, and that's going to link it together in like this little section. And we're going to type in like some text just to make sure everything works. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to compile it using my local leader key and TAC-LL, which I believe is the correct key. Yeah. So I'm just going to bring this over here, and I'm going to change the color mode, get rid of the highlighting, and we can see that we've got some text. And if you don't have that, what you can do is type in PDF LaTeX and then the name of your document, and that will compile it into a PDF file as well. Okay, so now I've got some text, but that's not very useful without, a title of the text, right? So we're going to create a section, and you'll see what this does in a second, called a bit of text. Not very creative, but I did my best. All right, so now we've got a number, right? And the numbers are incremented automatically as you create more and more sections. I'll say like the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, right? Okay, great. Now let's create another section to demonstrate. First we'll go by the order of this too. So we'll say title, date, and author. So LaTeX basically creates a title page for you in its own way, automatically. So the first thing is in the preamble, which is anything before the begin document begins. So anything outside the document. In the preamble, you would say the name of your document, so the title basically. And within these curly braces, you would basically say like, I don't know, a LaTeX tutorial. And then it will also require you to add an author. So like John F. Kennedy, even though he didn't write this. And you won't see anything just yet. To see it, you have to say /make title, and that will print out a title at the top. Let's say that you only want your title on a totally separate page than this bit of text right here, right? Well, I'm going to make it so we can see different pages, and I'm going to say, I think it's title page, and then now that's on its own thing. We'll get rid of that because I want it all to be together. And we'll change the color. And let's just get rid of this numbering with a star. So we'll say a star next to the section, and that will give us that. So we can also have subsections, so sections below sections. And this section we'll call how to do maths. And obviously I'm not going to explain exactly how to do maths, but I'm going to show you how to typeset maths. So to typeset maths, you inline, there's two modes. So there's inline and block mode. So inline, we can say that variables such as x, y, and z are used sometimes in maths. And that will basically add the maths in a sentence with some special italics. But if we want to say something like a formula, like, Pythagoras theorem, we can say like Pythagoras theorem states that, and we'll add in $2 this time. So we'll say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we can see that that's on its own line now. Now there are also ways that you can do symbols in maths. So for example, you can do the angle theta. So like we can say slash theta, and then we can say, I believe, slash angle, and then in brackets we can say like the angle ABC, for example, and that will give us theta with an angle symbol and ABC. And obviously the same applies with like gamma, capital gamma, pi, all of those, right? So that's that. And then the next thing you can do in LaTeX is also like more complicated maths, like fractions and integrals. So like to an integral or to a fraction, you type in frac and then the top and the bottom of the fraction. So the top will be like 2, bottom will be like 3, right? And because I've specified the $2 signs, that's in its own section. Yeah. And now to integrals, we can specify a lower bound of 2 and an upper bound of 3, and then the function. So let's just say like x to the power of 4, and then obviously the parameters of the integral, and then well, let's just start with that. That gives us an integral, and let's say you want to specify the bounds of an integral in a different way, right? Well, you add left over here and right, followed by the bounds of the integral like this, or 2 of us, yeah, or yeah, I think it's that. And here we have a different way of specifying the bounds of like the integral. So like, yeah, like that. Cool. And let's say that we wanted to make this like a caption saying that this is an integral. So for that, we'll do something called a figure, right? So we'll type in begin like we did before. We'll say end figure, and we'll make sure to make sure it sticks to where it is by saying H. But there's different ways that different things you can put in here to align it. This is like aligning a figure. And to add a caption, we can say slash caption. This is an integral, like that. And for example, let's say we wanted to refer to an integral. We can create a label for the integral that only we can see. So like fig followed by an integral, so like integral, but it can be anything. I'll say that we haven't really used the label, so we'll use the label up here, like in this integral in figure, and we'll say figure slash ref for like refer or reference, I think, and then an LSP will show us that that's integral. And we can see that will, where are we? Like in figure 1, yeah. So we'll say figure, and then the number of the figure. Okay, let's talk about what else do I have on my to-do list? Okay, Easter eggs. So like one last thing. So in LaTeX, you can actually do like this the LaTeX symbol by typing in LaTeX like this in a very special way, and then these scully braces, and they'll actually print the LaTeX logo. So pretty cool. Oh yeah, and then also one last thing, the table of contents. So anything that has a number next to it will be added to the table of contents. Otherwise, you have to do it manually. But to create a table of contents, you go / table of contents, and I'll create it on the same page as well. But you can create it on a different page as well by specifying like a page break like that. And yeah, that's basically the gist of LaTeX. It's, it looks professional, it looks nice, I think. And if you're doing like assessments in school or stuff, like what I've found personally is that when I've done assessments and typesetted them in LaTeX, you get a bit more marks both for presentation, and it just has like a more professional feel to it. So like they'll take your assessment a bit more seriously, and they'll, it's helpful overall. And it's same with like university and stuff like that. So yeah, that's I hope this tutorial has helped you. And I'll leave any links to the tutorials that I've used, like overleaf.com and latextemplates.org or .com, I think, in the description, as well as like any questions that you guys have, because this does take a bit of getting used to, but like the basics are very, very simple. So yeah.